So in today's video, I want to talk to you guys about the implications of the current drone sightings and where this might lead to, what it means. Because a lot of people are currently coming forward saying stuff like, I feel like something's in the air. I feel like this is just the predecessor to something big happening, maybe in early 2025 or something, but something big is just around the corner. We get posts like this one that I found out, that I bookmarked for you guys on Reddit, but the world will change forever soon. This is perhaps the largest cover-up or diversion operation that has ever occurred. If it is not divert the focus from UAPs, it is the largest social experiment or technology test simulation scenario, blah, blah, blah. We also get posts like this guy. I found him on X saying the following.
I got to know if anybody else feels this way. Almost as if we are literally approaching something much bigger than we'll probably ever imagine. And right now it's almost like a calm before the storm.
Right.
Things are good. You see people out shopping, doing their thing.
I'm not sure. It's
having a good time. And you're sitting here wondering, does anybody else?
It's not what I see. I'm not going to lie. That's not what I see when I go outside. Okay. Sure, some people are shopping. Christmas is approaching and all that. But overall, dude, the economy is not in a good place. Many people are struggling. That's what I see. Shops are closing. So I don't know where he lives. Maybe he lives just in a very wealthy area where everyone is happy and rich and goes shopping every day. It's not what I see. But you can see where I'm coming from, right? He's like, that's my gut feeling. And my gut feeling tells me something big is about to happen. And if you feel the same way, please leave me a comment, okay? I'm curious to hear what you think is occurring. Where are we heading, right? And there's a bunch of theories that are mixing with the theories about why these drones are being spotted in the sky. I'm sure you heard the theory about the drones being military, our own military, and they're scanning for radiation because apparently a nuclear bomb has gone missing. So these drones are everywhere because they're scanning the area from above to locate this missing nuke or something like that. That's one theory. But my favorite theory has actually been shared with me. And I didn't read this myself, but it's been shared with me by Pizza Yum Yum. Okay, so shout out to Pizza Yum Yum. And that is that Eisenhower, right? President Eisenhower met the aliens in 1954. This is a pretty common conspiracy theory, for lack of a better word. Here's an authentic picture of that exact meeting. Well, obviously, we don't know if it really happened or whatnot, but there is this legend out there that President Eisenhower met aliens in 1954, and he signed and agreed to a 70-year contract. Okay, 70 years of peace from the aliens. They will leave us alone. Well, guess what? It's 2024. The contract is about to run out. And that's why we're seeing the drones. And that's why something big is going to happen. It's just around the corner. The aliens are coming. Here's another great picture, very authentic, from that meeting of Eisenhower meeting the aliens. But there are a bunch of theories out there, right? Why the drones are up in the air. And I've covered it in my previous live stream, so I'm not going to go into it again. But there's two sides to it. One is, why is that? Why do people feel that way, right? That's one question. And the other question is, why does it feel like we've been here before? We've had these voices of people claiming it's, disclosure in this particular case is just around the corner. Something very, very big is about to happen. It's been going on forever. Okay, like I keep mentioning this, but even in 2001, hosted by Greer, the Disclosure Project in front of the National Press Club. And since then, over and over again, we have these whistleblowers. We have the people like, this time it's really going to happen. Just buy my new book. It's all in my new book. But soon the aliens will come. And it just feels like we've been in this position for like 100 times or more over the last 25, 30 years. But factually, nothing ever happens. Nothing ever happens. But then if something big happens, not with aliens necessarily, not like, because they all claim something big is about to happen, like maybe, 9/11, then for some reason people don't see it coming, right? Nobody's like, oh, something big is going to happen, and then a few days or a few months later, 9/11 happened. So I want to ask the question why that is occurring, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this as well, because what I'm going to put forward really is just one theory. I think the reason why we keep this occurring, why these shouts get louder now, these voices that claim that something big is about to happen get louder in the current times, is because there is a desire in these somewhat desperate times that we're living in for something like an easy way out, right? For something that just ends all this madness that we find ourselves in every day. Inflation, economic hardships, corporate greed, the division of society, opiate crisis, maybe we lost family members to illnesses that can't be cured. There's depression, there's social injustice, insecurity about the future. The world seems to be coming apart at its seams, and the intensity at which we are experiencing these symptoms, for lack of a better word, at the moment, right, with like insecurity about our jobs and so on, financial pressures rising left and right, a lot of people can't afford homes anymore. It hasn't been this bad in quite a while. So that makes the voices louder. That's why people increase their hope that this time it's real. It's something big is gonna happen. I feel it in my gut. I've got this gut feeling that soon something big is happening, and now we're connecting the dots to the drones, right? There are drones everywhere, most of which are manned aircraft, as we found out now. But these drones have to be a sign, right? It's a sign for something big. It's somewhat of an omen that we're heading into different times, into big changes that are coming our way now. And all this happens on top of a record high in distrust, mass distrust in governments and media organization, right? If something is said by the Pentagon, you can see it right now. Pentagon comes actually forward, makes these statements, publicly breaks down what they found out about these so-called drones, and that most of them have been identified as manned aircraft. People like Mick West appearing on CNN saying the following.
I haven't seen any legitimate drone sightings in this current flap around New Jersey.
Him putting forward software that allows people to track their own drone sightings, and it actually reaches some people. Here's this post by Lucy Biggers, who came forward and shared her own drone footage and said, I saw the drones, I'm sure it was not airplanes. And here's what she had to say after she met with Mick West and ran her alleged drone sightings through the software that he recommends.
I want to make a little video. I'm recording this Zoom, so I'm on a Zoom with Mick, because basically he went on Free Press Live today and said that my videos of the drones were planes, and then I was embarrassed, but I'm like, okay, or not embarrassed, but I was like, no, they're not. I swear to God, they weren't. They were flying low. They were so quiet. They didn't seem to be acting like planes to me. I've said this several times over the past week, and I've really been convinced that these weren't planes. They just were so low and so quiet and making turns and things. So anyway, I decided to call it Mick. He was nice enough to get onto this call with me, and we went through his much more advanced radar system. And we tried to corroborate one of the videos. And after talking to him, I'm pretty convinced that what I filmed actually was planes, and that maybe most of the things that people are filming are planes. So what we're going to do is
So anyway, I'll link this tweet down in the description so you can go check out the full video. It is like a 10-minute conversation with Mick West. So she actually contacted Mick West, spoke to him, went through this effort, used the software he recommended, did the homework herself, ran her sightings and the location of her versus where the sightings were through that software, and came to the conclusion it wasn't drones or anything mysterious. It was just planes. And she felt sad herself, like she felt somewhat embarrassed, or not embarrassed, but in denial, right? And this is exactly the problem. I see this all the time on our Discord. People are like, no, I saw the drones. They flew low. There was a cluster over my, they were not planes and stuff. Exactly what she's saying here as well. And she was under the same assumption, and she's obviously not a complete intellectually challenged person, but most people don't go through this effort, right, of actually running their sighting through the software. They like, I know what I saw. I know what I saw. End of the debate. So anyway, most people don't believe the Pentagon. Most people don't believe what Mick West says on CNN because they don't go through this effort of sense checking what they saw. And that leads to the very popular belief now that something big is just about to happen, and these drones are a sign for that. It's wild. It is somewhat a form of religious, superstitious belief. There's no evidence for it. In fact, a lot of the evidence speaks against it, but people want to believe. People don't care about the evidence. People just want to form their own reality and keep themselves in their little belief bubble because it feels so much better than admitting that you were wrong. And people are not good at admitting that they are wrong. Now, do I think that something big is about to happen? Let me just say, don't get your hopes up, okay? That would be my piece of advice. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll stand corrected. Maybe something big alien UAP-wise will happen in early 2025. I don't think so, though. But we do get pretty intriguing footage of these drones recently. I want to play this clip for you guys. It is 48 minutes long, and I only say wait for it, okay? So, filmed in New Jersey, Hammonton Lake, and we see an alleged drone spawning smaller drones. Look at I'm calling everything drone at this point, but it's spawning small lights. By the way, cue mysterious music, okay? There it is. And so it spawns these little lights that come from it, and they seem to drop from it. And often we see this kind of footage, and I speculate that it's some kind of flammable liquid, maybe dropping. Ooh, look at that. dropping from a Chinese lantern or something, but that's not what this is. This seems to be some kind of mechanical process of this object spawning these other smaller objects. Now, while this tweet claims that it's been filmed recently, I assume, at Hammonton Lake in New Jersey, we don't really have confirmation of that, and I haven't seen this in many places, which leads me to believe that it's probably an older piece of footage. Now, on Reddit, under this exact video, is a post by someone who claims to be a former Army Air Defense artillery guy, and he says it looks somewhat convincing to him. He says whatever hit this, hit it from the left. I think that was pretty obvious. And it is strongly reminiscent of seeing a Stinger hit a target drone at night. Same flash, same puff, same debris ejecting into the night. I don't know what is going on here, but if someone showed me this without any sort of context, I'd say something just got hit with a missile. As for what got hit, whose missile it was, I can't say. I can only speculate on what I see here. Other people are saying that they've seen this particular explosion with the smoke puff somewhere else before. They think it's some kind of stock footage. So I can't confirm whether this is real. The military also hasn't confirmed that this is real and that they potentially shot down a drone. But I think I do have an explanation for the little objects spawning from this drone. And that is that it might be some form of airplane, and the plane knew that a missile is locked onto it, and it is shooting little diversion flares, whatever you call that. I'm not a military guy, but you know, little heat signals, little flares of that divert the attention, or are aimed to divert the attention of the missile away from the main plane and instead target those hotter flares. Here's a video of another plane doing exactly that. They're dropping flares, or, you know, these heat diversion, missile diversion flares. This is the only way I can describe this, but you get the idea, right? We've seen it many, many times before that airplanes do that in order to divert the attention of missiles away from themselves. So that's my theory of what we see here. Again, the whole thing might be fake. I don't know. We simply don't know enough about this footage. If you know more, okay, up here it says that it's been shared by Danielle Brubaker on Facebook, but even that, I don't have a direct Facebook link, so it's all a bit dubious. But I still like the footage. I like to see some of these objects, drones being shot down, and that's another point, okay? If you see something in the sky that you think is a drone and definitely not a plane, don't do two things. That is, pointing a laser pointer at it, please don't do it. And even worse, shooting at it. And I saw this video, I'm sure you saw it too, it was shared a few days ago, where someone allegedly tries to shoot at this drone. And even I fell for it, right? I saw it and I was like, oh God, that guy, they're going to find him. They're going to arrest him. Don't shoot at drones. If it is a plane, you know, you might really, really put people in danger or even kill them. However, it turns out, if you read the community note underneath, that this particular footage has been digitally altered. It's not authentic, and nobody in this particular case shot at the drone. But I've seen posts by pilots on Reddit begging people to please not put laser pointers or even like bullets, even worse, towards these alleged drones. And you can kind of see it, right? You see these little dots here that remain on screen coming from the bullets. They're not having the same movement as the camera and the rest of the footage. Also, they're not really part of this grain that you see here. So it's definitely fake. This is definitely not real. The original footage can be found over here on YouTube. So that obviously doesn't have the bullets in it. It's a plane. Okay, guys, it's just a plane. So I would just say, instead of focusing on this big thing that will happen soon, and are these New Jersey drones, UFO drones, an omen for the big disclosure, that's just focus on Christmas. Just focus on your family. How about that? Maybe your friends. Okay, buy them a nice gift. If you can't buy one because you don't have money, then make something nice for them. Focus on that. Focus on the things that are right in front of us. Because even if a big thing will happen soon and the world will change, it might be all of our last Christmas. So stay positive out there. That came out all wrong. You get the idea. Focus on Christmas. Do something for your friends and family, okay? And move away from the idea that we're soon all going to be absolved from our sins and the world will be better with a snip of our fingers. Because it's most probably not going to happen. Face your challenges in your life and work through them, and don't believe in quick solutions like aliens landing on Earth and solving all your problems. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little breakdown. If you did, don't forget to smash the like button. I hope to see you in the next one. Subscribe for more. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm out. Bye.